I'm not even
I
gonna say
keep-
we're live. I'm gonna say we're live because that's the new
Okay.
sign on. Once we actually start the podcast, we are recording.
Okay.
But I am gonna start cutting this.
You're not even trying to get. You got two beautiful segues, two luscious.
We can get a
fucking-
third. We can get a third one.
Okay,
I'll just
I believe
cut.
it.
I'll just cut
Chris.
it. Editing. And it's magic,
Hey.
really. It's selecting reality to show people. I am
This is-
God when it comes to this.
That's true.
Watch this shit. Chris is not gonna come up with a new one. He's just gonna say your one a little different, and then we're all gonna be like, "Oh, wow,
as
what
a
an
god,
amazing-"
as a leader, I will take charge and steer the ship, much like
Okay.
Timmy. Fuck! As much as
Jimmy.
Jimmy takes
Jimmy.
charge
Yeah.
and leads the crew. Oh, but does he really? We'll get into this to the discussion as we talk about mouthwashing.
Mm.
We are live. We are live. We are live.
Hello.
Woo.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm feeling good.
Y'all were against me in that,
Just like Jimmy, yeah.
but I made
Everyone's
it work.
against you. Yeah, you're Jimmy.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty good. You're the
Don't do
captain.
that.
Everyone's
Hey,
against
that's-
you.
Okay. Yo, don't even compare me to that because
Oh,
that's
I'm,
evil.
yeah,
That's me.
No, I know.
That's
yeah,
fucked.
that's true.
It's
That's
so fucked.
pretty. Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. We're talking about mouthwashing.
Yes. Yes.
This episode's late, and it's my
Yes.
fault, and I'm taking responsibility.
Oof. Oof.
It's
Oh.
100, and it's very stupid how it's my fault. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Thursday, not Tuesday. We were gonna record. And we get to Thursday, and I'm like, "Hey, we're recording today, right?" And then it was like, "No, I can't record today." No, and I was like, "What? I thought we agreed." And then it turns out it was Tuesday. We said
We had said that,
and I just totally forgot. I fucked it up. I fucked it.
Well, I think our audience has learned a lesson about, coming around, going around, forgiveness, lots of stuff to think about.
Yeah.
I think in that situation. Yeah.
100%. 100%. I was gonna call this like the Halloween hangover because we just had our Halloween party yesterday, but
Yes.
Nightmine has been using that term for like 10 years, so
Mm.
we can't take it, even though it's really good.
That is a good one. Yeah.
It is much bigger. Maybe we're so small that it won't matter. But
But
no, I'm not gonna do that.
I'll say this. We make a habit. Halloween's a special time of year for the pod, for us individually.
Very busy time of the year too.
Yes, very much so for all of us. But I'm coming in today, no hangover at all. I'm feeling ripping ready, raring to go. I've got a clear mind. You've got a very clear mind, good, well rested. Like I'm feeling good about this, guys.
I
Slept a great deal.
I was so tired when I woke up this morning. I know, and
I'm
I'm
doing
just
good.
dehydrated, so I have sexy Chris voice right now.
Ooh,
Mhm.
it's sultry. There you go, guys.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, go
There you
ahead.
are.
No, I say, my day's going pretty good. Like,
Nice.
you want to hear about mine, or you want to hear?
Yeah. Let's hear
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
how you're having a good day.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I replayed the game twice to like get a full idea of it.
That's more
Nice.
than I did. That's good.
That's very good. That's very good.
With a couple quotes in mind.
back to back?
Yeah. I know, like one day I played it, and then another day I did like one
Okay.
one per day, and then I like wrote down a lot of quotes and like some thoughts on.
Fuck, dude, I should have done that.
I think I defer to you then,
because there's a lot.
Yeah, there's two. I mean, I remember there's two conversations, right, in particular, that are the best in the game, and one's very subtle, and then so subtle you can miss it, especially if you empathize with certain two other characters versus one character.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sure you have Swansea's speech.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
I do.
good, because I forgot to write that down. Because fucking bars, some of the best writing. We're gonna
Any-
get into it. Yeah. Before I don't want to overhype the beginning of what I think of this game, but let me pull up the year. This came out this year. Or was it last year?
2024, I think. Let me
I think it
see
was.
Last year.
here.
I think it was October
Yeah.
of last year, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a Swedish game released in
Yes.
September of 2024.
Yeah. The Wrong Oregon is the game developer. Before that, they made this game. Oh my god, is it I'm a Fish or How Fish is Made?
Mm,
Uh, which is you just play as a sardine, and then it has like a weird Katamari thing. I haven't played it yet,
Mhm.
but
mm.
from what I hear, like Mouthwashing right now is their big one. Their
The
first two games were self-published. Mouthwashing is published by Critical Reflex.
mhm.
I don't know if they list a writer. That was the thing I wanted to look up, but
Joanna Katsurin, but I'm not
where'd you see
seeing.
that?
I'm seeing that under the writer on the wiki page for Mouthwashing,
Oh, it might
but
be Johanna
Johanna.
Serenen because I think they're from Sweden, right?
They're from Sweden.
Yeah.
Johanna's
Yeah.
the narrative designer and does the art.
Fuck,
Okay.
dude. That's too much talent.
She's
That's not
really
fair.
good. Really good.
That's not. That means I have to learn how to model.
That's right.
Poly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wrong Organs. It's an independent game studio, as you mentioned. Their motto is "Make Game Die Young." It's very. I dig that, and yeah, go play it on. I mean, I know we're all gonna recommend it. So if you want to play it, go on Steam. I think they have an itch.io. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's short. It's like 2 to 3 hours. And the only hiccups are like the actual gameplay sections if you have kind of a hard time with some of them. But I think they're so easy. Well, they're not
Mm-hmm.
so easy, but they're easy enough that I don't think.
It's it's not going to be
it's-
one of those levels that just holds you captive for ages.
yeah,
Definitely not. I would
the
I would
puzzles
say.
aren't
Yeah.
crazy hard, but I mean, I can understand if like one. I'm thinking of the one in the factory where you gotta walk away from the horse is
Yes.
uh is a little obtuse. With
Yeah.
maybe the very last section in the vent being the most obtuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so before we get into it, Nick mentioned that he played them twice. I didn't have the time to do that, so what I did is I put on some. I have played it once the very first time I did, and then I just rewatched like two Let's Plays from
No.
Wooly Versus and Pat Stares At right before as I was doing other stuff
Okay.
to refresh my
Okay.
mind.
Very nice.
So Nick, what did before the first time you played Mouthwashing, what did you know about it? What was your what did you know about the game?
Nothing else.
Yeah, same here. I never heard of the developer. I mean, they only had the two games, right? Like, so
Mm.
I just started watching. I think it was Pat Stairs that like playing it, and then I went, okay, I'm gonna check this out. I'm really digging the vibe,
Mm.
and
Mm.
everyone says it's short, so I forgot where I stopped, and then I played, and then me and you, I think together played the entire game, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool. Ian, what did you know about the game before going in?
I basically also knew nothing whatsoever. I in the course of getting to prep for the episode, I was able to play about an hour of the game myself.
Okay.
And then I ended up just watching a let's play. I did also watch two different let's players, and I ran through the whole game just to kind of passively observe it to see if I was missing anything as a player. So I feel like yeah. I was really surprised, truth be told. I knew nothing about who made it or what it was going to be about at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
As one of the cool things about this game is that I think all its major points you can't really miss it.
Yes.
But then they add all these. It's so meticulously set up with all these details in like the environment layout, design,
Mhm.
right down to the pieces on the board game. That's the only thing I haven't researched into because apparently the
Mhm.
board game changes
Mm.
throughout the game, and it kind of represents where each character is at.
Oh, okay.
And that
Okay.
was the only thing I didn't really look into. But it's stuff like that, little details that you will miss, but you realize how much that is playing into the game, or like
Mhm.
reflecting off the themes and everything. Like it's so interconnected,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
environment and everything.
Yeah.
So, having said all that, let's get into the climax of Mouthwashing.
Yes, please.
Can I start with a question?
Yeah,
Oh,
go.
please.
Because I think even though, okay, on a chronological level, it's like later in the game, but I feel like it's, again, going back to whenever we talk about a scene that represents the entire picture, like the microcosm.
Okay, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
So, to you and Ian, in real life, since we're exposed to screens a lot,
Yeah.
how much does one dead pixel bother you?
Bugs the shit out of me, dude.
I don't know if I could look at my TV if it had that going on.
And
I
that's
think
why
I
we're
can.
normal.
I think I can ignore it, right? Well, no, here's the thing, Nick. I actually think it's the opposite.
Mhm.
I actually think
Really?
most people, if it's one dead pixel, right? I think
Mhm.
most people can ignore it.
Mhm.
If it's like multiple, I think I think most people, yeah, will say, ah, fuck that. I'm not gonna. That's a broken ass TV.
Mm.
But I think, I don't think it's an even split. I think it's gonna more 60-40. 40% people will the pixel, but yeah, it does bug the shit out of me. When I say
Yeah.
it, to the point, dude, where there's some cameras where you'll watch a show, or
Mhm.
I've seen sometimes with like my family watches sports, and then they're usually pretty good about the quality of their cameras because they have to be.
Uh-huh.
And I'll notice the dead pixel, and I go, oh, that camera's fucked. They got it. And they're still
Yeah.
using it for television because they know most people aren't going to notice it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know who had that problem? I think it was AEW had that problem in like one pay per view I was watching, where one of their cameras, I was like, "There's a dead pixel," and every time they turn to the shot, I can't unsee it. Like,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah,
That's interesting. I
it's
no,
very.
just because I
Mhm.
remember watching local channel G4, and they definitely had issues with it because it's a small channel. It's like a
Yeah.
thing. So I relate to this. I'm like, yeah, I definitely. That's maddening. And you start to think, and you also, I don't know, we're also of a generation where you start to think like, okay, did they not notice it? Are they doing it on purpose?
Yeah.
They're mocking me. God damn. Yeah.
Is it on purpose?
It's this. Is it on purpose? Well, it's on purpose in the sense of we're not paying money right now to fix it. Or,
True.
I mean, if I'm going to be a little empathetic, I mean, whenever you're filming something, shit's going to go wrong at some point.
Yeah.
And you might not
Yeah.
even notice until it starts happening, right? And then what you do is you mitigate the damage by, okay, whoever's switching the camera feeds, we're not going to use that camera as much as we can unless we have to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless, and then I think in AEW's case, what they were trying to do, if I remember the match correctly, is like something dynamic was happening on screen. Like the wrestlers were in the middle for performing a move.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be like, okay, I'm focused on that, not the dead pixel. That's in the right thing.
Exactly.
Like I'm trying
That
to
makes
remember
sense
what
to me.
match it was. I remember watching it with you, Nick, and going like, "There's a dead pixel on the." I thought it was our TV, and then they would switch camera. I go, "Oh, thank God, it's just their camera.
It's just their camera.
I don't have to
That's
throw out the TV." But Nick, to your point, like the fact that all three of us, like, dead pixels bug the shit out of us,
yeah.
I think is a testament to one, how like we're all friends, but two,
Mm.
we've been part of jobs where we know people will ignore shit just for the sake of the bigger picture.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
do we want to just talk about that scene already, or do we want to? Because we can use it as a
Does
framework.
Yeah, as I say, it's the framework because that is the point. So it's like
Yeah, go
everything
ahead.
else is.
I think it's one of the points. I'm with you. I think it might be the biggest point.
Okay.
Right. It's the thesis statement, right? Of
Mhm.
these characters. Or
Mhm.
it's specifically to highlight Curly's fatal flaw.
Mhm.
It is
But
fatal.
it's a flaw in Jimmy and everyone as well, right?
Mhm.
Except maybe Swansea, which we'll get into.
Okay.
Which like that reflects why Anya and Swansea can actually have a conversation where they're making plans and like taking real action.
Yeah.
It's
So do you want to? Yeah.
go sorry.
No, go ahead. My bad.
Okay. So that scene we're talking about in particular, oh fuck, it comes after a really crazy sequence, and I forgot to write down which one, but it's a very high action sequence. I want to say it's when Swansea breaks the glass to get in that shining moment to get into the cockpit where Jimmy's hiding
Mhm.
as he's looking for
Mhm.
the gun. I want to say it's that. I'm probably fucking it up. And then it cuts to just the nighttime screen of all of them days before the crash, and Anya sitting on the couch just staring at the night screen.
Yeah.
How much she likes it. And then Curly walks in and like I can't sleep and as we find out it's because he's thinking about all that stuff with the crew being fired, or this is their last trip, and
Yeah.
they will not have jobs after.
And there's so much very authentic built-in consideration of what's the young man's name? The guy
Which one?
who's the
The one, the
first
Hawaiian
John.
Daisuke?
shirt?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Daisuke. Yeah, Nick's right.
Daisuke?
Daisuke. That like Daisuke has so much optimism and hope, and it's all predicated on the idea that this continues on. But also the folks who are planning on retirement, the folks who are planning on
Mhm.
having medical care, it's
Yeah.
it's devastating. So I mean, it's an incredibly realistic and grounding issue for our characters to be wrestling with. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fuck, we can talk about that scene too. All right, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that after because that's a whole other diversion. Because that's a great moment of just showing where each character is at in their life.
Okay. Yeah.
During that,
Okay.
that's like there's a reason why it's at the beginning, not just as a great like inciting incident for why the crash is happening or happened, but to tell you where each other character in that story is at in their life, with especially Jimmy. But yeah, so we get to the scene, and Anya is staring at Anya and Curly have a conversation about how they're staying up, and Anya says, "You ever notice that dead pixel that's in the top right of the corner of the screen?" And Curly goes, "No, I guess I'm just always looking at the bigger picture." And then he goes back to talking about the mission, and Anya just goes, "Yeah, it's so funny because all I can think about is that one pixel," which is feels weird we're doing this at the beginning, kind of, but like it's the thesis statement, especially for Curly's fatal flaw is he's always looking at the bigger picture for everything, to the point that he can't see the cancer that is happening with his buddy Jimmy.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into my feelings of Curly later, but he's almost, if not just as fucked up as Curly, or sorry, as Jimmy, in my head. But and that will be Anya's like it's not really her flaw, because her flaw is that she's just not as capable as maybe she should be when it comes to medical stuff.
Okay.
But she is the victim in like most of the story, but that's kind of passed over. It's so weird, this game. Anyway, but that
I'll
is
just
okay.
I just wanted to quickly say of her. I think also the way that she behaves, the uncertainty, it to me reads of instance. I'll just say of my own personal instances where there are women who are incredibly knowledgeable,
Yes.
incredibly competent, and just being in a space that is just a dude's space,
100%.
the kind of default thing that either they've been primed to do or trained to do, or I don't know, there's all kinds of different ways these things happen. But to say, I'm sorry, I don't even know, but maybe this would be help. And it's like, well, you're a nurse. You
Yeah.
know, you don't have to put, no, it's fine. But the idea of how when women are competent and put in a role where they are an authority on something, I think a lot of times that there is a pressure where I see them kind of default to that false reverence, that false like, oh, I mean, it may be. Do you know what
I
I'm
know what you're
going for
saying.
there?
Yeah, especially if it's 4 other dudes on
Yeah,
the thing, and one of them's Jimmy, who
he's a
doesn't know
monster.
shit. It's his like he's new to the job because of Curly, because apparently he couldn't hold down his other one, and
Yeah,
Curly felt bad for Jimmy,
yeah,
and put him at second command, which is fucking crazy.
that's
I'm
wild.
sure Curly's thought was, I can keep an eye on him, maybe, but that's
Mhm.
so insulting to the rest of the fucking crew. If
Who've been, yeah,
except
I
maybe
agree.
Daisuke, right? Who's
Yeah,
brand fucking new.
yeah, true, true.
But you're right. You know what? I'm unpacking that in my mind now, and I'm thinking about this. Right? Okay, so this could be just as headcanon, but follow me here.
Mm-hmm.
Is Anya bad at her job? I don't think so. By the sole logic that Curly's alive.
Yeah,
And he's
that's
wrapped
true.
up and bandaged in the hospital wing. And I don't think anyone else in that crew could have done that except Anya.
Agreed. I
So
agree.
that takes a lot. That must have taken so much. So she is competent in that. Yeah, that's totally true. And the way the game, so she's totally competent. She's keeping him alive. Granted, it's not a great existence, and I think where she's actually squeamish about what she failed med school for, we don't know why. She probably just didn't pass the test or something, and that could happen to it for numerous reasons. That doesn't make you a bad doctor or nurse necessarily.
Right. Yeah.
And I think the proof that she's a good one is that Curly's alive and is being kept alive somehow. Now, probably there's we're in the future, and there's probably crazy medical science, but she's still able to keep that person alive with no appendages and no skin. Yeah, for a thing. And as you experience with that, whenever Curly takes the painkillers, the sound effects, which bravo to sound designs, are very
they are
gruesome. They're visceral. It's so unnerving, and the fact that Jimmy is not disturbed by it, and in fact kind of relishes in wanting to hurt Curly, is more proof that he's a psycho, or he's the unhinged, just unempathetic, me narcissist.
Yes.
So you know what, man? As we're pointing that, I think you're totally right. I think that's part of it. One, I'd yeah, I guess that's to check my own bias, because I totally got it's 4 other guys there who are not letting her, except maybe Swansea towards the end.
Yes.
Who are not, 5, including Curly, because Curly is trying to sweep her problems under the rug, and they're big fucking problems, as we find out.
Looking out for Jimmy at basically at every turn up until the accident.
Looking out for his buddy Jimmy the rapist, as we find out that's that's his child that Anya's pregnant with.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
Well, I know, because you have a lot of thoughts on that, and I think what's great is that I brought up the pixel scene because it's the first scene that actually sets up the pregnancy.
Oh, go on.
Because in the in that scene, you have the one of the questions Anya asks Curly is, how many days of transport do we have left? Curly says around 237, so just under. And Anya is the only time Anya has ever cut off Curly is when she says, so 8 months.
Yeah, 8 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she knows.
Who knows?
She's counting down the days, like, for that.
And then the second thing she asks is, why do you think Pony Express puts a lock on the medical room door but not sleeping quarters?
Damn, that's right.
Yeah.
That is what she says right after that. And that's maybe the most direct inference, but apart from other things that Jimmy might say to her later on, that's maybe the most direct inference of
Mhm.
what happens. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we've all worked 9 to 5s, and we've worked shitty
Hmm.
9 to 5s.
Hmm.
We know why. It's a
Hmm.
company will always protect its assets before its employees, and it does not, even though its employees should be considered very valuable assets.
Maybe the
They
most disposable one in a lot of, not all cases, but we've all, I think, had cases where
mhm.
that's been what we've experienced. Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
workers are on the bottom rung, and we just are expected to perform this labor for the very minimum of money, right, or the very
Yes.
minimum of compensation, if any.
Yeah.
As we even use like prisoners for free labor, and like
Hmm.
I'm thinking of like the stuff with the wildfires and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but that'll get into my like what I got out of it later. Let's go back to one of the other scenes, but let's keep going with Anya, because Anya is so
Sure.
interesting in this, in the sense of how little she's kind of given, and she's given so much but also very little at the same time, in the sense that every line and every scene she has implies so much about her and the whole crew situation,
Hmm.
and right down to, yeah, as you just said, why are there locks on the
Medical.
cargo but not the quarters? And that's
This.
because
Yeah.
this company values the cargo more than their crew.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
and we but it's so purposeful, this game, because it's Jimmy's perspective, right, of
Hmm.
how little he actually gives a shit about Anya, and just views her, as we find out in the very last mini game, as just this womb with a problem in it,
Yeah.
to which is like, yeah, the narcissist who raped her, like, obviously will view it as that. And then it's an amazing sequence because it takes place in the vents too.
Mm-hmm.
And the and here's my take. Okay, so the vents, first of all, because of Daisuke and like sending
Yeah.
him
Hmm.
into that, right? And the okay, so this is my take on like why the horses. I don't know if I've heard anyone else talk about this, so I want to hear your guys's. That's why it's a horse in the womb, because he ties it to the company. Like, it's not his fault. It's the fact that I work here, and maybe there's only one woman here, and I just have to do this thing because it's like my bodily functions. Like, it's so dark and demented,
Hmm.
right? It's something he has to do in his head.
I don't know
Right.
if you wrote down any of this, either of you folks, but just to kind of quickly put it out there, I think
Mm.
there are many situations where Jimmy talking out loud or talking to other crew member,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's incredibly dismissive.
100%.
He It's incredibly dismissive at all turns, and everything is framed around basically, why are you the problem?
Yeah.
You're creating a problem for me. And that is kind of the myopic view in which he operates all situations that we see in the game, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
even the
So,
part where
mhm.
he, like, you find out he crashes the ship into the asteroid, with
Hmm.
Curly, and he goes, "Don't worry, Curly, I'll take care of this." It's both
Yeah.
dismissive of his own views of the problem, but but I get to be a hero in that sense.
Hmm. Yeah.
And as soon as it goes tits up, it's Curly's fault. Like,
Hmm.
even although I don't think Jimmy's 100% wrong on that. That's Curly's fault, because Curly, what was Curly thinking was going to happen after that conversation?
Yeah.
And this is where
Yeah.
we get into kind of my take on Curly is just as bad, Jimmy if not worse. Or
Oh,
well, though
So,
Jimmy's a
yeah.
rapist, but
yeah.
that's the thing that puts Curly probably below. But
But there is second degree.
Jimmy
Yeah.
What's
cannot
that?
exist without Curly.
Exactly. I was gonna say yeah.
Without
Curly's
an
the enabler.
enabler.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And man, this is where I get into like the real, like Anya's whole arc in this thing is genius, like great level subtle writing.
Mhm.
Especially to just even give out like the themes of this fucking story. Curly's character is proof that these people have worked shitty 9 to 5s, man. Because narcissists in those environments usually don't last. I've
Yeah.
worked in kitchens where like, oh, we all turn on the guy and we go, oh no, fuck you, dude. Like, we ain't working with you. We're in high stress situations. We want to work with the people we know who are gonna do the job and
Yeah.
who we want to like work with. And
Yeah.
usually there's like a weird social thing where it'll kick them out for better, for whether, and it is kind of a form of bullying. That is the problematic part of it. Um, but it does keep out fucked up people like Jimmy a lot of the times out of it, at least from
And
my experiences. However,
Mhm.
they can stay in that situation if they have another person always keeping them there or trying to put them in a spot where they're not trouble for everyone, and they
upper and middle
So
management. Yeah.
middle
Yeah.
management, and that's the
Yeah.
fucking thing, man.
exactly.
Man, if you worked in a kitchen, we all fucking hate middle managers, dude.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
fucking hate them because they're not in there actually working like 90% of the time. And those who do, yeah, kudos to you, because I did have one manager who actually got his hands down dirty, and I respect that dude to
Mhm.
this day. Um, I'm not gonna name specific names right now, but yeah, they can keep the shittiest people there because they're not seeing. Well, either one, they're not seeing shit, or two, they are purposefully ignoring it. For
Oh yeah.
whatever reason, and fuck,
Yeah.
fuck,
Yeah.
just keeps them
So
in there.
yeah.
No, Curly's the proof to me that I'm like, oh yeah, they get it, man. They know Jimmy cannot exist in this environment without Curly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because Swansea
Sh-
for sure would have gotten rid of his ass like sooner.
Oh
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
And well, I didn't want to interrupt there because I totally
yeah,
agree
sorry,
on
go
that.
ahead.
But yeah, I was gonna say this absolutely lines up with later, the tide again, because I feel like I wouldn't feel comfortable discussing a lot of this unless the focus is Anya, because
Mm-hmm.
the more I played it, the more I noticed I was forcing myself to focus on Anya because the games and the characters around her are like focus on Anya's like well-being and like
Mm-hmm.
and because her perspective, you're only reacting to her action, you're not getting her perspective because the
That's
game's
right.
not letting you
Right.
Because
until
Jimmy's not like letting himself empathize
He's
as
not
well, right?
curious about it. Yeah.
And
Right.
neither is Curly. The only two characters you play as.
yeah. And I thought a lot about when playing through this, because usually when I replay stuff, like if it's a favorite game or media and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I try to do that thing where like every time I re-experience it, I do the whole like see it from a character's perspective of the events.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Try to get different perspective on it. So for me, one thing that stuck out to me, and again, like back to the experiences of shitty 9 to 5s, and I actually of this recording had a recent experience where there's a abnormal reaction that doesn't register because you're not used to seeing such an abnormal reaction or like response
Mm.
to a general piece of information that usually has a healthy response or like a response that you're used to hearing.
Could you
So
give us an example what you're thinking of specifically in
Yeah,
that
it's a little
situation?
vague right now.
no, that's what I'm saying. So in
Okay,
chapter
okay.
18,
Mm.
I know, since we both watched Wooly's thing on it, exactly the moment of Anya saying, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Curly says, who would you? Anya says, I told you.
Yeah.
Curly says, listen to me. We can fix this. I've known him for a long time. I'll talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Anya says, the least I can, I know you never let me, you never give me the gun to protect myself. So the least I can do is make sure he never gets it either. In real life, like, if you're like hearing a stranger say to another person that I'm pregnant, and then their response is, well, you can fix this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
in real life, that would immediately kick a fight or flight moment in me.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, it is such, and then, again, this goes to how well this scene's done, because it can easily fly over your head. It flew over my head the first time.
Yeah, because of how and it's how much Curly takes over the situation, and he puts it back on Jimmy. In that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go talk to Jimmy and fix this. Like, Curly is so fucking guilty in this game, and I think he does deserve what he gets. In a weird, but I know that's playing a weird territory for like what punishment is. But I mean, like, he puts it back on Jimmy. He's not focused on Anya, who is going through some of the worst shit ever.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why Anya's response is that, because she knows who Curly is too.
Yeah.
And she gets it. Which is why she hides the gun. You're totally right. Yeah, Curly's response is so fucked in that situation, man.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
Yeah, and like and how like the game's done so well in that again, going back to me noticing, the more I replayed the game, the more I realize how much every man just failed Anya in every aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it made me think about, like, and again, because it's done from obviously real life experience, like, yeah, even my own life with other jobs and stuff, and just how even recently, like, there's just environments where they don't see anyone that isn't a straight man as a person.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's one of the problems with bringing it back to like my kitchen days. Yeah, that still has issues where, like, if you're a woman in the kitchen, you gotta, like, there's so many there's so many different ways to approach this, but all the same, it all leads to, like, I have to fit in a certain way, right? Because people will ignore or look down on me, or like, uh although luckily I've worked in places where they didn't tolerate, like, people uh like taking their anger out on women. Like, I
Good.
knew folks who were very good about, like, calling that shit out. It was kind of the reasons why I liked working in kitchens, is his people didn't have filters when it came to, like, no, that's fucked up shit, dude. Don't fucking do that. And I very much appreciate that environment compared to especially my job now, where people don't say shit, but except me, and I'm the crazy guy. But because, oh, look at me, I'm such a hero. No, because it's, yeah, and I want to get into this, all right, because I'm experiencing this now with my day job. It's the environment. If Nick, it's okay if we move on to like the environment that's set up.
Yeah, totally.
Around this. All right, cool. So, getting back to that line of why are there locks on the cargo and not the corners, we get into kind of just the oppression of this company, right? There's posters everywhere stating, like, what you should do in situations, and most of the time they're either geared towards protecting the cargo or following very specific procedures that create efficiency, right down to, like, they're on a year-long space, or like multiple year-long space trip, and there's only one birthday that can be celebrated each trip. Company mandated, so they all combine it together, and it's a fucked up cake put from like packets and tubes. But the point of it is that we're not celebrating all of you. This is just probably some union thing where we gotta get at least one, and this was the compromise.
Yes.
And that's fucked. And it's all this like, and the way the hallways are set up, there's nothing, there's so very little for the crew, to the point where mouthwash is a huge deal because just the fact that 17% alcohol means on some level they can get blitzed off it. And now they have something to do outside maybe that one board game that's in the hallway.
Yes.
There's this whole oppressive atmosphere to it. And yes, it's sci-fi and fantasy like in this setting. But man, you've worked certain jobs, you know how fucking oppressive like it feels sometimes. Your spirit gets broken to the point where you're not fighting anymore for like people not to be dicks or to stand up certain ways. And after years and years of that, I don't even think it takes years. I think if you stay at a place like 1 year enough, you won't realize how much you've conformed into that environment unless you're actively fighting against it. Unless you're trying to be a problem, and which I put problem in quotes. I think people need to be a problem to their company at all points, but that's just my take. We won't get into that right now, but this game reflects that atmosphere so goddamn well, man. Right down to the like that horse Polly is always like present.
Yes.
Because on some level they're influencing all this. They've allowed this situation to happen where they made a crew where it's only one woman on there and she's the medical doctor, and all these guys who knows if they even did a background check on Jimmy and why he lost his fucking job. Although we know Curly had to put in a word from him, so on some level they respect Curly, but Curly's also a fucking problem. And like Swansea, the known alcoholic who's been working up into retirement, and then they hire a brand new kid, probably knowing they're gonna
fire him.
Fire and like everyone, right? Daisuke the first one.
And I mean there's a whole bunch of things I'm thinking about while you're saying that, Chris, because I agree. I don't know if any of you have been in this situation where people do redundant hirings and redundant firings.
Oh yeah,
there are people's entire.
I worked in the kitchen, baby. I know. Season when holiday season comes around, man, who's surviving? Like, oh yeah, we call it seasonal workers. In that,
it's but I also think that mouthwashing is making a point relating to the people who survive best are Jimmy. Like the company is oriented and organized with the same values as Jimmy, ostensibly. What's in it for me? And that's really the end of what I think.
How do you get the job, quote unquote, the job done, right?
Yeah, exactly right. And I mean, we can go on and on about this. I could continue with like, the way that corporations maim, injure, and disenfranchise their workers, and then take no personal responsibility whatsoever for the systems and situations that they have set up for people to fucking fail catastrophically. I see almost on every level the lack of human care is reflected in the character that we play. Certainly Jimmy, into a degree. I'd say Curly is I would use the word like kind of indoctrinated. He is so deep in this soulless despair of labor, of working, that I think there's a certain degree to which you're right. You had mentioned about being a problem as well. I guess I'd just say, like, there are certainly people who get jobs and then it does something kind of nasty to them, and that can happen too. You want to be mindful about where you're going, and I'll just tie it back to one episode earlier that we did on the film Friendship. Like, do you remember, like, what was Tim Robinson's job was making video games that are more addictive to young and old people? or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
make which is a real job that exists as somebody who's
yeah,
worked with video games.
yeah.
And in fact, I have a friend who I worked with on that team who did an interview for a studio, and one of the
Mhm.
questions on their paper was, "Do you know any psychological uh, game design tricks to make a game more addicting?"
Good lord.
Dude,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
fucked. It's fucked out there.
yeah, and so the kind of a part of it that I got watching this
Mm-hmm.
is that, again, I'm not talking about Anna, but everybody else, Curly, all the men on this ship that we're watching, they are so soaked in the culture of whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly shocking that there's only one Jimmy. Like,
Yeah.
this, the 9 out of 10 times this guy won't see any repercussions to his careless and childlike actions of crashing the whole ship to cover his butt, basically. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. That's what I was thinking about as you were talking about the kitchen work as well, man. Yeah.
No, 100%. I mean, the short end of it, like, of everything we're saying is, of companies like this, like,
Yeah.
form that, or foster an environment for those kinds of people.
Yeah. I
Not
agree.
because they're trying to, or not because, well, on some level they're trying to, but not because they, like, they're aware of any of the things that happen on that level. It's because it just works that way. It's the type of people they actually want without them realizing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly
100%.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're 100% on the money with that. All right. What who else? Well, we haven't talked about Swansea or Daisuke, right?
No.
Uh
No. Yeah.
and okay, so Daisuke is like I mean, it feels mean to say, but it's kind of easy in the sense that, yeah, it's the new hire. He's very naive. And he's very much like, he's taken to Swansea because, one, he's coming in as a mechanic too.
Yes.
Um and this is all like, it's his first job. He views everyone as a senior. He listens, and his fatal flaw is that, where he listens to Jimmy and goes, "Well, he's the captain, I guess." Like,
Yeah.
his fatal flaw is he respects authority
Yes. Yeah.
as early job. And man, like, I've been that guy where you do the new hire and you go, "Well, I know how to stay hired," which is just cozy, which is like, yeah, whenever you talk to the manager, "Oh, of course, dude, I'll do whatever. Yeah, fuck it, let's go."
Mhm. And
Uh,
so often,
mhm,
young people like him are the ones that get really taken advantage of in ways that, just to briefly throw out there. I mean, I, as a young person, when I was just starting, like,
mhm.
I was working 12-hour shifts as an hourly employee
Yeah.
for like a year and a half at one point. Like,
Hmm.
uh, and it legitimately is because, well, my boss said that people who hustle like that get good things. So, I'll do
Which is
that
not true.
extra
It's
work.
always a lie.
It's always a fucking lie, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a fucking lie, and I'm not going to name the name of the company. But,
Hmm.
what you actually end up getting is somebody saying, "Oh, you're actually not getting lunch for the next week, but we're going to do order in pizza so you can stay on the phone the whole time." Like, that's not a reward. That's a crime, guys.
Yeah.
It turns out that you're not allowed to do that. That's but anyway, but like, the number of young dumb people like myself, I'm sure, who don't know dick about anything, who get taken advantage of, who have people, like, probably get away with actual crimes
Hmm.
because 19, 22-year-olds don't know labor laws, and they're like,
Yeah.
I guess so, okay, you know. So
No,
yeah.
100%. Yeah, dude, and right down to, which leads to his death of
Mhm.
Jimmy going, "Go through the vents," which is, hey, Jimmy, you can go through that vent too, man.
Yeah.
Whatever fucking excuse you got for it, like, oh, Daisuke knows him, and he doesn't, because all he knows is Swansea marked it off as, "Oh, this shit's dangerous. Don't go there."
Yeah.
So when he dies, and there's a moment where you think, like, "Oh shoot, did Anya, like, kill him when he got to the other side?" And it's no. As we find out through the game, and you do Daisuke's sequence, he just got hurt while navigating the vents.
Yeah.
Which leads to him dying, like on the ship.
Yeah.
And the only time someone cleans up like a real mess Jimmy's made is Swansea, which is him putting Daisuke out of his misery.
Yeah.
As the kid slowly like bleeds out to death.
It's really tragic. It's really affecting.
Oh yeah. But okay, so real quick, back to Anya, because we gotta talk about one of the best scenes in the game for me.
Yeah.
Is the medical room is unlocked, and the reason Daisuke is able to do it is because Anya is already dead. She overdosed on painkillers, and she killed herself on painkillers. But she goes in, and this game is always doing weird distortion or graphical distortion with everything. With like as part of the aesthetic, and it's great. And the best use of it, I think, is when Jimmy enters that, and you can't even look at Anya's body. Like it's just phased out. It doesn't register to him because to him that's not the problem right now.
Yeah,
the problem is getting that gun or like getting the thing. Anya's not is just something over there.
Yeah,
it's so fucking it's what a great choice to portray that and everything. And it's so impactful once you realize what's in that corner.
And it's you as the player are heartbroken because you are denied that.
Well, no, you're not even sure what it is until you actually go back into the medical bay and you see your corpse. Like you're not sure what that is. At first, I think I think this is very purposeful. It's put in the place where Curly's at. So you think like, is he ignoring Curly or something?
Yeah.
And again, that just kind of shows that you've been manipulated with by being forced into Jimmy's perspective the entire time.
Yes.
Because all you go is, I don't know where Anya's at.
Right.
And then you realize what's in that corner. But it is, once you realize what's in that corner, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It's so tragic. Like
it really is. It really is. Yeah.
I think I've only gotten like upset, like if I was thinking of like times I watched something and I was getting so upset, I would stop consuming that media. Because the first time for me, one of the only times I could think of was watching Dear Zachary, the documentary.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
And then the second time was the I believe Silent Hill 2. I think another one.
That's an
where the speech at the end, like that's just
that's one of the best written things ever in a video game.
Yeah, in
and
terms
one of the
of
best voice like acted lines.
Yeah, no, the whole story with that's crazy. Yeah. And so third time in my lifetime is that smear scene, because especially going back to it, like I feel like every time I went back to the game and went to the smear, like that I just get more and more upset. Yeah, when you know already what's in that corner, and realize why it's in that corner and why you can't immediately see it, and then like, and then again like how it also sets up the vent thing with Daisuke getting cut up, because in the beginning they mentioned offhand, Anya recklessly like cut her leg on the vent because of exposed metal. Thus Swansea cut it off, but never fixed it. It's just that was part that genuinely got me. I say that and the Swansea speech both genuinely got me.
Oh, the Swansea speech is the only cathartic, like real cathartic. No, is the second. There's real catharsis at the end, depending on what type of person you are. And then, as I found out about myself, and there's like real good catharsis in Swansea's speech, but it's still like it's still playing to what like the ending's going to be with Jimmy and everything. So we should just get into Swansea then. I think.
Okay.
Grizzled old veteran who, well, quote unquote veteran in the sense that he's been working with his company forever, if not his entire life, and or the vast majority of it, and is close to retirement. Everyone views him as kind of like surly and cranky and just unpleasant. But when push comes to shove, as we know, he knows how to make the right decisions, and we find out why later. Which we get throughout the game in the sense of he closed off the vent. He does not allow Daisuke to go in there because one, it's just dangerous for anyone, including him. Two, he closes off the bay doors. Okay, and this is like the interesting bit here of who, because the way Jimmy sees it is he automatically assumes when Swansea closes off the where the cryopods are for safety. He assumes Swansea and finds out there's a working one. He assumes Swansea wanted it for himself.
Yeah.
And that is not the case if you follow the dialogue for Osha. That's just what Jimmy thinks.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain he wants it for Daisuke, the kid, for the beginning. I'm trying to remember the line specifically. But he wants it for Daisuke at the beginning. This is my so let's just assume it's a working theory. But wants it for Daisuke at the beginning. You know, because he's the kid, he's the new one. He does not deserve to suffer this is his first job. He hasn't he's just a kid, right?
Yeah.
He's not gonna let him die. Or he's gonna do the best he can to make sure he doesn't die here. Which is what makes that moment at where he has to put Daisuke out of his misery so fucking heartbreaking for him.
Yeah.
And then we get the conversation where Jimmy walks in, him and Anya are talking. And Jimmy views it as like, are they like conspiring something or like what are they doing? And I think that scene is supposed to be Anya telling him about the pregnancy.
Probably. Yeah.
How fucked that is. And Swansea's actually listening and goes, okay, well, I know. I mean, it's not a solution, but there's going to be the cryostasis pod for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But which if you're following that line, you go like, well, then there was hope, right? Like, why would she overdose? And the answer is because she knows Jimmy isn't going to let her.
Yeah.
100%. She's going out on her own terms.
Yeah.
If anything, it's back to the logic of the gun, right? She's protecting herself.
Yeah.
And every situation has been like, well, in order to protect myself, or everything has led into, in order to protect myself, I have to do overdose on these things. So we get, and like just all these things bearing into Swansea, and Swansea fucking sees Jimmy for who he is, 100%. And I won't do the speech right now because I was just gonna end the podcast on it because I think it's like, I think it's the best part of the game in terms of like what dialogue, right?
Yeah.
So we'll end the podcast on that scene because I think it'll just to give it gravitas.
Okay.
Performance wise for entertainment. And but anything else to say about Swans before we get into the ending of the game?
No, not for me. Nick, any thoughts about him?
Yeah, I will say like if to set up the speech beforehand, the second thing I mentioned of what got me in this game is when Swansea says to Daisuke as he is fed, after he's fed the essentially the alcohol intention to poison him and knock him out.
Yeah.
Is when he says that It's when he says we get smarter in worse ways, uglier, meaner. You were a ray of goddamn sunshine, and I could have learned something from you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's really
He's-
beautiful.
Swansea gets like the best lines in this fucking game, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, we get Ivan, because I'm glad you mentioned that line, Nick, because that's like a line that stuck with me. We get smarter in the worst ways. If we tie, I think we can tie that back to what Ian was saying, where like an environment fosters these kinds of people because they learn how to work within that system because the system has been fostered for them to work in it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like weird Ouroboros. They get smarter in being shittier because shittier is what's getting them further in this company or keeping them alive.
And a lot of them are getting good results from it. I guess there's no other way to say. Like the corporation, I mean, the corporation is bankrupt at the end, but it's representing. There's a lot of companies that do that, and they keep the balance books even.
And then
doing
they bankrupt. But like it eventually all catches up.
Yeah.
We're seeing that with video games too, for anyone also into that. But fuck, we get smarter in the worst ways, dude. It's like because it touches on that philosophical thing for anyone who's. I mean, because I'll say like I've always had issues my entire life, and it's something I'm keenly aware of, and I've constantly worked at. But the thing you realize, especially as I'm older now, from when I consider I really started working on that, is that it's forever. It's the rest of your life you're doing that fight. And it's so easy to give up and just give in to your like quote unquote instincts, I guess, or like whatever you think your true nature is. Even though I would argue you trying to fix yourself, if you're constantly doing that, that's your true nature. But it's constant work you have to do every day, and it's fucking tiring. But you do it because you want to be better, right?
Yeah.
And you have to want that. And these people and Jimmy, Curly, people like that, either one, they don't want that. They don't truly want that. They may think they do. Or two, they haven't even thought about wanting that.
Yeah.
Because they're a narcissist and they have to go, well, I mean, why would I? I know I'm right. For everything. And at that, there's a certain point where, man, you gotta go, well, then you're just fucked, dude. I don't know. I think you're wasting space then. Like, I think you're a problem, right? That I have to either get out of my life and have to make sure people I know, like, hey, don't even bother with that. Like, which gets into the ending that tells you what kind of person. It also ties into a speech I'm going to say at the end for that Swansea's lines. That ties into the end of, how did you guys feel when Jimmy blew his brains out? What kind of person are you?
What kind of person?
What kind of person are you? Because I know what kind of person I am.
I can go first.
Yeah, you go, man. Because Nick knows what my response is.
Man, that was one of the biggest reliefs in a game I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
And then also, I was like, hell yeah, tap him. Let's go, baby.
Couldn't have happened sooner. Well, no, it should have happened sooner. Sorry.
It
should have been if he had done it day one. Wanted him out.
That's right. Got it,
him.
Hell yeah.
And yes, we could argue, and I would even agree to a certain extent that that's not a good enough punishment for him. I think that's true. And
now, see, that's where I was kind of going. I was going, oh, Jimmy gets to slip out the side door again.
So here's the thing, too. It is a moment of like, it's even in his suicide, and it's very well, like, especially with Anya's being earlier in the game and how that's paralleled and tragic. Jimmy's is him trying to convey it as I'm the hero. Like, I did the right thing, now I can die as a martyr, right?
Yes.
And I get to not suffer. And especially if you really think about what's going to happen to Curly, you put together the logic of they tell you the speed the ship is
Mhm.
going, which is like a bunch of AUs, which is the astronomical unit,
Yes.
i.e., the space
Earth to the
between
sun.
the sun and Earth. So
Yeah.
it's millions and millions and billions of miles. Or I'm probably fucking that up. But the point is, they're going crazy fast, and then they hit that asteroid, and it knocks them off course, and they're going even faster because they're stuck to the asteroid, and they're
Yeah.
off course by like trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and like hundreds of trillions of
Yeah.
miles. They're never going to be found.
No.
So Curly in that cryostasis, once that engine finally runs out and they wake him up, Curly's just going to like suffocate and die.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy doesn't solve anything. He just feels like he does.
Yeah.
Which is the ultimate frustration of that game.
Yes.
But I'm glad he fucking died. That's where I'm at.
I
Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, to that thought, I was just like, these kind of people don't learn. Is
No,
my
there's-
maybe incredibly
It's one of the tragedies
pessimistic
you
view.
learn in life, man.
Yeah.
What's that GMC faux show line?
Some people gotta go.
Yeah, some people gotta go, and then but they can learn to change. Well, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. I guess we'll never fucking know.
Fucking bars. Bars.
Hell yeah, let's go, baby. Hell yeah, God is real. God is real. God is real.
So it is one of those few things you try to take. Granted, it's still like fucked, right?
Yeah.
But man, you love to see him go.
Yeah.
Good dub. All right, see you guys.
It's this game, man. Okay. I don't even know what else to say about the death scene, but we'll get into Swansea speech. I'm gonna end the podcast on it.
Oh wait, could I throw out one last thought,
yes.
and then we'll do the Swansea? And I'll just, I guess, get your guys' take on it. Any thoughts you want to add? Because I had mentioned earlier a piece of media that was in my mind while I was watching the end of this game.
You want to save that for the denouement, because we're gonna. Sorry, I should have clarified. We're gonna do. Okay. So what do we get out of it, and then denouement, and then I'm gonna end it.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay,
all right,
gotcha. So let's get into what we got out of it. So Ian, I mean, do you wanna go first, or?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I got out of this a deeply chilling psychological horror story. It's a sci-fi kind of thriller, but it is, and it's also kind of I'll say a pastiche of stuff that this group fucks with. We all like.
Yes.
There's elements of like the design on Curly is, to me, it immediately evoked like Inuyasha season 5, the history of Orochimaru, like the scarred man. The ship makes me think of Cowboy Bebop's incredibly grimy, grounded aesthetic of science fiction. And then we'll mention one other thing. But goodness, this is a rich, layered text, and this is a game that I'm eager for the studio to come out with another one by these writers, because this was tremendous.
100%. Yeah. One thing we sadly didn't touch upon on this episode are like the visuals, like especially in the more surreal and gameplay aspects.
Yeah,
that really convey a ton of information, but like I think the only best way to do that is if I got like a slideshow or the video and I pointed out stuff on like what I think the pacing's doing here and all that. So we did really focus on the dialogue, but we also mentioned the ideas too that come out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick, what did you get out of it?
You know what? Yeah, I know, because but I think that's when you have a really special piece of art, because like it is something where you know what, I understand like people's approach with media and stuff. I always treat everything as like a place in time, because I know like when I describe Scott Pilgrim and Gorillas and stuff, when I go back to it in different parts of my life, it's like the different things you pull out of it. So for me, like I think even like the year between when we played it and now, I think what I got out of it was a psychological horror, but also like just real insight to that capitalistic horror of
Yeah.
what is actually at play when you're in a power dynamic that rewards the worst like most oppressive like social dynamics, and it's just like yeah, no, I think that's what I mainly got of it. Mouthwash. I know people say like best Silent Hill game. I don't know. I never do the whole blank game thing. I just view Mouthwashing as like a incredible piece of art that I'm really glad we have in our lifetime, and unfortunately it is relevant as ever. But I think it gave me a lot of perspective and sort of own lessons to learn about navigating those dynamics. I think especially like how my takeaway and like you said, says Jimmy can't change, but the biggest frustration with Curly is that he had so many opportunities to change. He had so many opportunities to change all of it that he failed at. And I think that's something I was thinking about was like I don't want to ever like be in a position where I have that realization of, oh, I could have done this or I could have stopped that. And I realized that is the gender imbalance, that we can act like things are better, but nothing will get better until all of us feel comfortable and like are treated as people. Like, that's where I'm at. Mouthwashing, that's what I got of it. Yeah.
Yeah. The tragedy of the Jimmy, well, and I mean tragedy for us, of the Jimmy and Curly dynamic, is that Jimmy, you kind of got to just be like made that way and to be that kind of fucked. Curly, you can totally become that guy at any point. It's totally a path that can be bred from like the notion, like it really is, hell is paved with good intentions. The type of person Curly is, where, because if you think about it from the sense of like, oh, he gave his friend, he gave an old friend a job when he felt bad for him, and never took into account like, well, why did he lose his jobs and couldn't find one, and what kind of person he actually is, and trying to just keep in his mind, I'm doing the nice thing, right? Like, versus what the right thing is, and actually taking responsibility. Yeah, that's the hardest. That's a tough pill to swallow, I think, when you as you get older. It's because it's not easy. It's easy to become Curly. It's totally not easy to stay out of that. All right, what did I get out of it? I've been talking to people about this, and I mentioned this to Nick and Ian. This is probably my favorite write. I mean, I've been saying the best writing, but just to I realize how many games I haven't been playing lately. So it's my favorite writing I've seen since Disco Elysium.
That's huge. That's huge praise.
That's really big from me, because I think Disco Elysium is the best written thing I've ever played.
Yeah.
And maybe one of the best written pieces of art I've ever experienced. This thing is man, it's some of the tightest 3 to 4 hours you'll ever get in a video game experience. I think there's so much to chew on there. We did not talk about, again, the visuals or the surreal sequences and everything. Especially, I know there was things when this game came out. I remember people like kind of like, no, Jimmy had to, where you would learn stuff about like streamers and all that. We're like, no, Jimmy had to do what he had to do, and like all that. They were starting to empathize, or you would see Steam reviews and everything, right? Like, I don't get it. I think Jimmy's on the money. What are you talking about? You would just learn shitty things about people, which reminded me of Disco Elysium, where people would play Disco Elysium. Is, I don't get it. I played the game the way I would make these decisions, and the game keeps calling me a bootlicking fascist. I don't know what to do. uh, and uh, and man, isn't that great when it's just like the mirror holding up, right? But
That's exactly what you want.
I
Yeah.
realized too the streamers that I would watch or people I watch who had actually worked like 9 to 5s and have gone through some shit.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude, this game hits you. I recommend this to anyone who's worked that. I think it would also help you catch things ahead of time. I mean, if you worked in places enough and long enough, you can see it a mile away.
Mhm.
I remember
Yeah.
at my current job warning like my managers, I'm like, hey, you gotta watch out for this guy. He's going to be
Right.
a problem in the future.
Yeah.
And hey, man, the company hasn't done shit about it, so
Well,
doesn't that tell
you
you
get.
everything?
Mhm.
It's this game hit. It just like very it just stays with you with like the lines Nick mentioned. We get worse in we get smarter in the worst ways.
Yeah.
With the way certain scenes are, like the pixel scene just crawls into you. It's all and everything is just so interconnected into this thesis.
Mhm.
Like right down to what's not being said and then what is and what you're seeing versus what's actually happening. Shit, we didn't even talk about like the horse that Anya sleeps next to in the
Mhm.
main cabin because it has a motion sensor on it that will wake her
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And that kind of like fucked environment that
Yeah.
this game like portrays.
Yeah.
It's one of I'm with Nick. This is one of the best pieces of art I experienced in years.
Mhm.
I think everyone should go check it out. Go support it.
Mhm.
I heard there's some weird things going on with the fandom. I don't know anything about that shit. I've just been talking about this stuff with my
Oh, I don't
friends
know.
and other people who I
Yeah.
think would relate
Yeah.
to this stuff. No, it's very impactful. This hit very hard for me, and I think
Yeah.
I played it at just the right time and the right
Okay.
place.
Now, yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
No, that's pretty much it. I like it's all praise, man. It really is.
Yeah. I was gonna make the joke of like, is the fandom problem the same problem as people tattooing Griffith on their calf or their leg, or
Yeah,
Femto on their
I
arm,
don't know. Maybe it could be. Again, I mean,
like an Okage?
my thoughts are going back to those reviews of like, I don't get it. I think Jimmy's like doing the right thing in
You're
this situation,
yeah, yeah.
and
You're
I
telling
can
me the
like extrapolate from that, right?
yeah. You're telling me the streamer with the camera, the two cameras in
Yeah.
front of his face, and the
Who's never
sponsors.
worked a 9 to 5, yeah, doesn't get
Oh
it.
man, those fucking. Oh my god, yeah. That's when I'm like, yeah. You just don't know. You don't know
Yeah.
what it's out here.
Yeah. All right, we're starting to cross into old man territory of these kids today, but like,
Oh,
but
speaking of
like, if
which,
they haven't worked, I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, one of the
yeah.
hardest tweets I've ever read that I totally like fuck with is the thought of if you've never worked a job where you've had to clean a bathroom, then I can't truly be friends with you.
I
Mm,
fucking agree with that wholeheartedly.
And man, do I agree with that more and more every fucking day. Like,
Yep.
I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, because you ever just meet a guy and you go, "Oh, you've never worked. You've never worked
A real
9 to
job.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never worked
Yeah.
a real job."
Yeah.
Or like that old Conan O'Brien bit where he's talked about when he did the pilot, and I forgot what he was talking to, an actress or a model, and she's talking about how modeling was like super tough, and she's like, yeah, it's just a real hard job. And then what got the pilot off was Conan going, wait, no, it isn't. What are you talking about? There's people who go to 10-hour shifts and crank a lever all day. That's not hard. Like,
People
what
go
you're
in a
doing is not hard.
mine. Do you
That's
know
a
that?
job, the lever thing.
That's true.
And I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the denouements. What do y'all recommend having done this podcast, having experienced this piece of art? Ian, it sounded like you had something in mind.
Yeah. I have a longer thing and a shorter thing. So quickly, the longer thing is I did think a lot about and I'm curious what you guys think. Shinji Ikari while I was playing this.
Ian
This
texted me
actually.
this because there was a point where
Wait, what do you mean?
where
Mhm.
Nick, did I not tell you? Oh, dude, okay, you're ready
No.
for this shit.
Bruh.
Go ahead, Ian.
Oh, this
Go
might
for it,
be
go for it.
an insane take. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it might
But
be.
I don't know. I feel like there's a through line between both Jimmy and Shinji Ikari in the
Okay.
way that they navigate their relationship with other people,
Okay,
which is
I'm listening.
an intense myopia, an intense self-serving, a inability to think about other people with depth or meaning, basically up to the last minute, I would say. Both are sex criminals, and
Yeah.
the only difference is that Jimmy's depression, he's offering a depressive model that is more recognizable to men for me, which is anger instead of sadness, which is Shinji's modality. But both of them are so consumed by their negative emotions and are ready to say why it's everybody else's fucking fault that I feel this way. I don't know. Thoughts, considerations on that as a take? Because I'm especially thinking about Shinji from
Okay. Yeah.
the end of Eva in
Ooh,
particular.
yeah.
Okay,
That's his lowest.
this is Lois.
What do we because I'm also, so as a quick
Mhm.
as a quick aside to what I'm also thinking, I'm thinking about the kind of disgust that goes candidly both ways. I rewatched the end of Eva scene where Misato is insisting that he get in the goddamn robot ship. Please, they're getting in. We're probably going to die. I'm probably not going to live through this. You need to do this. And Shinji is so consumed in his self-loathing
Mm-hmm.
that he's not really actively there or participating or hearing what the hell is being said. And so Misato goes into the default of how she interacts with people to get what she needs, which is flirting. And
Yeah.
she kisses him on the mouth and basically infers, come back and you can have whatever you want, please. And that's the modality that punctures for Shinji Ikari. I get to be the hero, and she's gonna love me.
There's a
Okay, that's
damsel in distress.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's only doing it once he gets to be the big fucking important boy. Once someone says, yes, your dick is so big and you're so impressive, we're gonna love you when you do it, Shinji. Please go do this. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm being I don't know. But I think that there is a through line here with the difference being that both of these characters to me read as like a depressive who has had no treatment whatever. And instead Shinji is modulating his depression through regular sad boy behavior, and yeah, the other character is modulating the sadness through just blind rage, which is what I found a lot of men who have depression will also do
Tend to
that.
do.
And
Yeah.
I was like, look. Anyway.
I mean, let me tell. I mean, because I've talked about like how I feel like I don't know, on this podcast, maybe Storyteller Cast, where I've mentioned like, yeah, had real bad anger issues as a kid, and teenagers where I was kind of trying to figure it out, and college is where I actually started working on that. And it still comes up from time to time. Although I've gotten good that I've kept it at the small things.
Yeah.
Which is a big. I think it's a big victory. And then
Oh, it is. It totally is, man.
and then, although people will look at you like, Chris, why are you mad that you dropped the, or no, fuck, what's Nick, what's a small incidental thing that would get me mad? You know me
A fork?
better. What's that?
He dropped a fork. He dropped a fork, and you just fuck. God
No,
damn it.
unless the fork broke.
Oh, okay. Oh, does a wine glass set you off if you like fucked up the stem on a wine glass with that?
No, here's how
Would that...
good I've gotten at
Okay.
things. I remember where like a beer, like if a glass I had bought, and I only bring this specific thing because it's happened recently. A glass I had brought from like a trip that was very important to me broke, I would be upset for like the rest of the day. It
I feel
happened
that.
but you get it. You get that feeling.
I get that.
That happened recently, and I moved on a lot quicker than I thought I would, like in an hour or two.
Good.
I would just be the thing of, oh, I really like that glass. That's a real bummer, and then
Right.
and then move on.
Right.
That's progress, folks, is what I'm getting at. But anyway,
That's right.
back to my point.
Mhm.
Yeah, where it's okay. So first of all, Ian,
Mm.
when you sent me that text, it wasn't all
Yes.
that, and it sounded nuts to me. And it sounded like to me you were just reaching. And I was like, I bet he
Seems
saw
like-
that scene with the ladders and went, "Oh, that's like End of Eva. I'm sure there's an Eva connection here." And I thought it was that. I thought it was that
No.
like shallow.
No.
No, what you that's a very like astute observation actually, like connecting ones. And it's
Yeah,
showing
totally.
like it's specifically focusing on two different points of like a man's like life for literally a boy to boy man. But
Yes.
where Shinji's like a teenager and Jimmy's a grown ass fucking adult who shouldn't be acting like a goddamn fucking child like all the time.
True.
And I mean that's where my big thing, one of my biggest insults I think I can give a person, especially if their guy is like, oh, he's just a fucking toddler. Like
Oh, straight up.
to me right now. Yeah. So if I call you that in real life, yeah, fuck you. And then so yeah, I can totally see that, man, where I don't know if treatment is always the solution, because as we've found out with studies, narcissism, if you give a narcissist therapy, it just makes the narcissism worse.
Yeah,
And
because they
it
can
fuels
frame.
them.
And I think that comes to the question of
Mhm.
I'm thinking of the kind of delineating line between someone who is a clinical narcissist, and I think that there are other things that bring people to behave narcissistically, but we don't
Yes.
think of it. You know, it's that extreme. For Shinji, it's the kind of the inverted well of self-esteem. I'm actually so shit. Everyone fucking hates me, and you
which is still a form of
radiate
narcissism. Yeah.
which is still a form of narcissism, and you radiate that shit, and then you self-determine that, oh, see, everybody treats me like shit because I'm terrible. You see, etc.
Yeah.
And for him, I think that the depression. This is me just saying, as especially someone who had a job that like was not a good environment, as we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
That puts you in a really, that can also put you in a really fucked up like depression spiral when you're in a job that's unsatisfying, that is working you unreasonably, and then the spiral, instead of but because sadness for men is also like, that's not what you do. I find that a lot of men convert. They go straight past feeling sad, feeling hopeless, feeling trapped, feeling like, why isn't this working out, to, God damn it, and I'm assigning blame now. This is your fault. This is you. And so,
as reflected in that scene where the news Curly breaks the news, and it's Jimmy who's lashing out against everyone.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Okay, no, that's actually a really great observation, Ian. This is why I can't trust your text messages when I get them, because you word them in such weird. Okay, Nick, right? He weirds them in such a weird way.
That's fair.
Because it is a landmine.
I forgot to talk to John about this. I wanted to when I saw him the other day. It's like, hey, when Ian sends you text messages, do you kind of have to decipher them?
I'm so glad that you've said this, because I can confirm or deny this off air. I will.
Yeah,
and I will.
This is a great opportunity to encourage.
That's right,
all of us.
Ian, aren't you glad you work in an environment where we call you out and let you know this?
Okay.
I'm gonna have my fucking revenge on
you.
Yeah.
Hear that gunshot go off? I'm the hero, says Ian.
I'm the good special boy.
Anyway, that's right. Yeah.
So, fuck.
Ian, the story. Yeah. Ian's Kingdom Hearts. What is your Kingdom Hearts?
And then just really quick, folks, to wrap off my little bit here, I do want to throw out a game that I saw. It's a horror game. I believe it's the beta is downloadable right now. It scared the Jesus out of me. It's very atmospheric, and it's called Tolt. T-O.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. The one with the horse.
Yeah, the one with the horses.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, eerie. Erie
Oh,
Gang.
you watched that
I think
Expo video too?
I did watch that Expo video
Yeah, that's
too.
right. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
I know I have it.
What
I
about-
have it downloaded. It's great. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about you folks? What are you taking away? What are you going to recommend for the listeners out there?
Nick, go ahead. I have an offshoot, like a very weird one to recommend.
Okay.
My recommendation, after everything we talked about,
That's right.
Yeah.
BetterHelp Therapy is having a sale. No, my
Yo, hey, recommend therapy. I can't afford therapy right now, so I do counseling. But like, yo, man, if you can afford it,
Yeah.
if it's in your means, go do it.
unless you're a narcissist, don't do it.
Unless you're a narcissist, then just like go back to your hole.
Get another mirror. Yeah.
And you know what's unfortunate, because every time like you guys bring up stories of a certain personality,
Yeah.
it is a testament to how well Jimmy's written, because we all have experience
A Jimmy.
a Jimmy.
Yeah.
So in light of everything, it's funny enough you brought up Evangelion, because my recommendation was going to be Evangelion the manga specifically.
Oh, okay,
wow.
okay. Which is very different.
But I decided to change it to something that does align with not only this story, but in general, the focus of someone idolizing like the capitalistic dream, and they themselves revealing to be that narcissist. Because I talked about before the manga Bokurano.
Yeah.
But I think one thing I would recommend this time around is that it is also a psychological horror. It is definitely a tragedy also. But another thing is like they follow like each it has like a bunch of chapters. Each one's a different kid. And then there's one kid who is the son of a CEO, and that kid worships his dad because his dad treats women like shit. And he wants to treat women that way.
What is this program? I'm curious. What is this?
Bokurano. Ours. It is a manga from like 2007.
Okay.
You know what's kind of crazy? The author ended up later doing designs for Rebuild Evangelion 2.0.
Wow. I love those posters,
Yeah, he designed the angels because he was like a character designer and monster design for anime.
Okay.
But he only did 2 mangas. He did Bokurano. It is that's one. I know I said back then like that's up there for me with Ava. I mean, at this point, I think I like it more than Ava, but I gotta think about that one because that just comes down, I think, more to, I think, kind of what we talked about of like it does I think it just does a better, not better, but definitely has like a take I found myself relating to more about that kind of personality that thrives in like the cruelty that a capitalistic, like the power dynamics of like of discrimination, or the power dynamics of like a CEO. Oh my god, yeah, they just nail this so well. And like you're literally following the seed of just an absolute monster of a person like being born, because like he's from the get-go just thriving. But yeah, Bokurano. Totally recommend it.
Got you.
All right. Chris?
If you were the kind of person that was really glad Jimmy finally died when he did, I recommend I'm Glad My Mother Died by Jenna McCurdy.
Oh, wow. We've never talked about that on the show.
No, I guess not. I highly recommend the audiobook. That's how I listen to it. Jenna McCurdy narrates it, and she does a great read of everything because it's her story. That's real. Yo, man, when people when people sometimes get on me about like, Chris, you can't be such a hate. I know I feel like I'm doing one of those TikToks like like you can't hate, man. You gotta, it's always gotta be the thing. And I go, I think we need to a certain extent, because we need to make sure certain things aren't allowed to be in this world. Like I'm getting into dangerous here, but I mean like people like Jimmy, or like Janae McCurdy's mom, where it's like, no, I am happy they're no longer here.
Yeah.
The world is better without these people.
I want to throw out some from a Jason Pargin quote. I don't know if we've said it on the show before. We've mentioned him here a few times now, but
yeah,
Jason Pargin, and I'll relate it directly to what you said. But Jason Pargin was talking about how millennials and Gen X will often be making comments on movies set in the past around the 60s and 70s. Why can't we dress like this anymore? People, why don't folks get to all dressed
weird.
up to go on the airport?
Yeah.
And he said, it's because you're not shaming anyone.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we don't dress like that anymore is if you are a man at 13, the expectation is that you own a tie and a hat and that you wear it in public. And if you don't, you're a fuck up and we will judge you publicly. So if you want people to do that, start judging them more in public. Is the answer. But for an actual serious thing that we'd want, if you want a society where shitty things don't happen, shame shitty people for acting shitty in front of you.
Shame is really strong.
Yeah. And there are appropriate places to put it. Not all of it is equally dismissive or wrong. Mm-hmm. There are behaviors that we want to shame out of people and say, you don't interrupt strangers, you don't take things from the table next door, et cetera,
yeah. And I can definitely go on, but I'm looking at the time here. Last thing I'd recommend is go support, look at, create, join your local union for your job.
Hell yeah.
If it's another piece of media you need, because that's how you interact with the world, I'd recommend Sorry to Bother You, one of my favorite movies of all time, where it really gets into kind of the importance of unions, but also how it should work, which is it only works if you get everyone or the vast majority of people together to do it. We're seeing union movements across the country in a really great way, so I would highly recommend that without getting too preachy, because I realized too how little I know about this subject as I've done more and more into it, but I do know that's the way to make it work. Go support, join, and look at. They're not all great. I know this. That's just a harsh truth of it all. But go make it great. That's what I would say.
I'm so glad you said that, man, because I'm hardly an expert either, but just to say, unions used to be an expectation that American workers had as just an expected course of matter.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even if you're just starting out, even if you're the new hire, folks, wherever you are, if you're a worker, if you're in the public, if you're serving food, you deserve decent treatment and decent payment. And that shouldn't be a taboo thing to expect. That's all I'm gonna say, I guess, about that. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. All right. So with that, I'll end. Let's finally end Halloween Spooky Month 2 days late with the hardest quote in all of the hardest dialogue in all of Mouthwashing. No, in all of fiction. No, I'm not going to say that. But but here we go. All right. This is from Swansea. This is the very famous scene. I have something to say, so shut the fuck up and listen. I spent 13 years half cut up to my eyeballs, drunk to put it mildly. Then suddenly I saw it, a street light shining in my face. 500 gigawatts of the power of God. A vision of my bloated body found in some ditch. Scared me straight. So I got a collar shirt, mortgage, and a credit card. All the things that make a good man. I hoped I could raise my children to be better than their old man. I wanted to believe I was never one step back away from my worst self. But the truth is, discipline, drive, routine, the endless fucking desperation to get shit done. A loving wife, great kids, sobriety. I'm telling you, accomplishments I'd been chasing all my life never felt as good as I expected when I crossed the finish line. So now that we're at the end, taking inventory, Those nights spinning out of my head, sinking in the sofa, broken glass in my palms, bleeding dry, the funniest thing ever. Old dogs laughing and snarling on the waterbed floor, mocking the moon for daring to show its face. All nausea and wreckage and vomit and ugly cruelty. The only problem in the world, an empty bottle. Those were the best days of my life. Yeah, those were the best days of my life. I got nothing to hide, ready to face the music. I can see myself for what I am. But you, a cowardly, selfish motherfucker, and you can't even see it. I should have been able to protect that kid. If I could have done one thing right, I wish it had been given one small chance off this goddamn rock. And then this is Jimmy. Swansea, I'm going to fix everything. We're going to make it. Swansea, fuck you.
Fuck yeah.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Halloween unionized, baby.
Yeah!
Free Luigi.
Union.